Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my makeup stash of my eyeshadow palettes. Now this is going to include some of my singles because I only have I think like 6 singles that are not in a Z palette. So I'm going to share those too. I'm going to show you in just a second how I store my eyeshadow palettes, just real quick, just to show you kind of like where they are, how they're kind of organized. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that clip now. I have 3 drawers with eyeshadow palettes. I have this drawer that is on my desk. This is where I keep larger ones. And then if you go to the left of my desk, I have Alex drawer units, and the bottom one's right here. I have 2 5 drawers on top of each other. And so the bottom one is where I keep more of my everyday kind of palettes, the ones that I reach for the most and like I like the most. And then the one above that is palettes that I don't reach for quite as often or didn't fit in the lower one. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you all my palettes. So that's how I keep my eyeshadow palettes. I do keep my singles in another drawer. They're just literally in the drawer by themselves, and a shoebox. So I'm not going to worry if I didn't show you guys that. But I'm going to go ahead and do the singles first because there's, like I said, only a few. So the first one I have is by Pacifica. I got this in an Ipsy. That's where most of my individual things come from. This is Pacifica. It's in the shade Skinny Dip. So I'm going to just show you guys. That is what it looks like. It's really pretty. I just don't ever reach for singles. I used to have them in with my palettes, and I still never reach for them. I just don't. So I try not to buy any. I have one that I use that I will get to. That is actually in my eyeshadow drawers. I'm sure you guys might have seen it in the video part. But the next one is from City Color, and it's an eyeshadow trio also from Ipsy. That is pretty much where they all come from. So there is that one. Once again, really pretty shades. They are really pigmented and pretty. I just don't use them. Alright. I do have a Mary Kay like sampler little palette. I've never touched it. And I don't really think I have any plans to. But they are pretty. Like, they're not bad shades. I don't reach for them. And they don't really go well together. There's one matte transition shade, and then a green, an orange, and a blue. So maybe I'll try to challenge myself to use that one day, but today is not that day. The next thing I have is actually a blush. Yeah, a shimmer bronzer in Flush. It looks like a blush to me. I got this in an Ipsy. It came a little broken, but this looks more like a bronzy blush to me. And it was falling apart, and I still didn't use it. It's not a pretty blush color for me when you swirl them together. It is like a bronzy, it's on my middle finger right here. It's just kind of like a bronzy, blushy shade. It's not very pretty. It is, but it's not. It's a prettier eyeshadow, so I did put it with the eyeshadows, but I just don't use it. 3 more, so I did have a couple more than 6. 1 more. This is a Milani Evening Star Constellation Cream Eyeliner. So this is actually an eyeliner. It is thrown in with my eyeshadows, but it is really cool looking. I actually did buy this one. I bought this at TJ Maxx. It was like $1 or $2. It's really kind of cool looking though, so maybe one day I'll use it. So I have that. Alright, and then we have the Bon Voyage, which you will see in just a minute. I actually have the palette. So when I received this shade in my Ipsy, I was like, whatever. So I haven't depotted it into my Z palette yet. I probably will eventually. But for now, it just sits in this. It is called something. I'm not even going to pretend to know how to say that, so I'm going to just show you guys. Maybe you can see the name there. I have no clue what that's called. It's a really pretty like inner corner shade, or even like a little highlighter. So it's a good shadow. I already have it in a palette though, so there's that. And then in my most recent Ipsy unbagging, which I did with my sister for September, I got the Pop Goes the Shadow by Elizabeth Mott Premium Eyeshadow. I actually got a shade called Toasted, but my sister and I traded because she got Gunmetal and she will never wear it. She also reaches for singles more than I do. So I took her Gunmetal color, which is a really pretty color, so I'm probably going to depot this soon and put it into my Z palette so I can use it. Well, it's actually not even a Z palette. You'll get to it later. Alright, but that is all my individual shadows. So next I'm going to go into that big drawer that is literally right here in front of me. It is part of my desk that I sit at. So I only have a couple larger palettes in there. These are the palettes that either were too large to stand up in my Alex drawers over here to my left. So I have Alex drawers on both sides of me. I have 2 5 drawers stacked on top of each other. But these were either too long or too tall, or they just didn't work with the little whatever systems I have. So I put them in this drawer. So the first one I have, I just bumped it. Alright. The first one I have is the Too Faced Christmas in New York, the Chocolate Shop. Now this is a full-size palette that I have used maybe once or twice. This is the 2016 holiday palette. It smells wonderful. It does have that really nice cocoa scent, so if you like the chocolate ones, they're good, but they're just not that pigmented. You can see that I have barely used this thing. It looks brand new and it's almost a full year old. I got it on Christmas, so I mean, currently it's September 16th. I just have to look at the date. So I've used this once, maybe twice. I should probably declutter it or try to use it, so maybe I'll have to push it towards the front. It's really pretty. The shades are gorgeous, but like, they're just not that pigmented, so I have to find a way to work with this. I did pick up the Too Faced 2017 holiday palette, so I'm hoping that that one is better. I did swatch it while I was there, and it does seem to be a little better. I picked it up at the Rouge event, so it does seem to be much better. Too Faced and Tarte's holiday sets are usually a little, so I do have this one though. I need to reach for it more. The next one I have is the Lorac Mega Pro 2. Now, I had to have this palette when I saw it was coming out. I wasn't a big makeup person when the first one came out. You get a giant mirror. I'm going to try not to blind you guys. You get a giant mirror, but it is such a gorgeous palette. Like, look at this. That is stunning. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous palette. I have used this one a good few times. I don't really have any complaints. They're super creamy. Lorac palettes are awesome. So I heard the third one was really good. I didn't pick it up though. There was other palettes I wanted. And then the fourth one is about to come out. I think it comes out in like 3 days from the point I'm filming this. I don't have any plans to pick it up yet, but if I happen to come across it and have the extra like $62, I think it is, something crazy, I will probably get it. But I have the second one, and I do really enjoy it, so if you are seeing pictures of the fourth one or future ones, then if you think they're pretty, they're worth it. They're really good. Next, I have my Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. Now, I just got this not long ago. I got this at Nordstrom Rack, and they had just put these out, so I knew it hadn't been out and touched. I've used this for my bright pink monochrome tutorial. I'm going to try not to blind you guys with the mirror. The whole lid is a mirror, though. But it's a really pretty palette, don't get me wrong. It's just super colorful, and so I don't use colors too often. If you watch my channel, you've seen I've done blues, purples, stuff like that, pinks. But I don't usually reach for color shades, so I like having this as a product in my collection for if I ever needed a certain kind of color. But I probably won't pick up any other super colorful, so I'm glad I have this one. I do have and I don't have it with me because my mom borrowed it and never gave it back, but I do have the Gem and the Hologram Sephora palette. I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll insert it somewhere if I can. But it is the Sephora Gem and the Holograms collection. It is pure, like, glitter ones. There's no matte shades, maybe one. And they are super colorful too. So I do have that. My mom did steal it, but I do have that one that's colorful as well. Next, I have the Pirates of the Caribbean palette from Lorac. Now, once again, Lorac shadows are amazing. This palette was really cool because it has a little slip right here that you can slide the little cheek palette in, which I do have. This is a really pretty palette. I'm going to go ahead and open it for you guys. Giant mirror as well. But as you can see, there are the shades. It did come with a little black eyeliner. I have lost it. I don't know where it is. But there's the palette. Super gorgeous colors. They're very much on the cool side, I would say. So I love this. If you don't know, I'm a huge Disney fanatic. So when I saw that there was a Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales collection, I had to have it. I didn't get the Beauty and the Beast one. Kind of sad about that. But I had just picked up this one not long and decided I liked this one better. So there's that. Next I have one of my favorites. I don't use this too often, and I probably should, but I'm scared to go through the shades too fast. But this is the Kat Von D. Let's see which side this is. This is the Metal Matte. How cool is that? This is the Metal Matte palette by Kat Von D. This was the holiday last year. So there it is. Super colorful, but it also has neutrals in it. These shades are pigmented. They are blendable. They are so good. The Saint and Sinner palette launches in 3 days, I know. And I will have to get that one as well. But I do use this a lot. I love it. I just try not to use it too much so I don't go through the shades too fast. Alright, and then the last one I keep in that giant drawer is the Jaclyn Hill palette. My boyfriend bought this for me. He is the best. And I have to say, these shades are absolutely stunning. I do have a couple tutorials with this, so if you are interested in seeing more, definitely go check out those videos. But here's what it looks like. Love, 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 love this palette. Alright, so next we're going to move on to my drawers. So the first one I'm seeing, and I'm going to grab out the few in the back that I have. Got a couple large ones on the top drawer, so I have those two that are on top of each other. On the top one I have 3 large ones in the back that were too big for the drawer in front of me, so I stuck them in the back of this one. I have, we'll start with this. This is the Tarte Holiday Palette. This was the 2016? This was either 2016 or 2015. I can't remember which one, and I'm sorry. It came, I'll go ahead and show you the shadows down here. Really pretty, same as every other Tarte holiday palette though, so if you have one, you have them all, kind of. It came with a Tarte Light Cameras Lashes Mascara and a little brush, which is awesome. And then it did come with another palette right here. It was shades that were already in this, and I think it had a blush or a bronzer, so I did give that to my sister because she was mad she didn't get one for Christmas. So I did share with her. This one's nice. Once again, Tarte holiday stuff is sometimes a hit or miss. And so I don't think I'll be picking up the palette this year. I think I want to pick up that highlighter. But this is really nice. I do like it. It's really pretty. Lots of neutral shades. So when I'm looking for like a certain kind of brown, I know where to go. So I do love this one. And then I have my Minnie Mouse. Knocked my camera again. I'm not good at this today. Alright, I have my Minnie Mouse and Sephora Clutch palette. Now this is super cute. When I saw there was a Minnie Mouse collection of Sephora, once again, Disney fan, had to have it. The top has a cute little mirror, and it is signed by Minnie Mouse. But here is the palette. There are some gorgeous neutral shades as well as some pops of color. This is super pigmented and pretty and blendable, so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You can see that it has, ooh, wrong side. It has this little hole right here. You can actually pop these out. You can pop out the mirror and the shadows like this. So that way when you have hit pan on all of them, you have a nice little clutch, which I thought was a really cool touch because I would totally use this as like a little clutch, being such a Disney person. So I thought that was really cool, and you can just pop them back in too. So just like that. This is a really cool one. I'm glad I have that. And clutch, I can't wait to use. Probably should use that more so I can use the clutch. And then I kept saying Z palette. This is actually what I have. I have the Makeup Forever palette for my eyeshadows. So you can see that mine is still very empty. Like I said, I don't buy individuals a lot. I had this trio. It's like 8 years old. I should probably get rid of this little trio, or little quad. I think it was from L'Oreal. I have a couple of different shades up here. I have them all labeled on the back. So this is the Manicadar shade Fantasy. I've got a little Makeup Forever shadow right here. These are the Balm. This is Buxom. This is the Balm. These are something. I don't even know. And then over here I have a bunch of coastal scents. I have one. Where'd you go? I think it's this one up here. This one's an Urban Decay one in Midnight Cowboy, which is this one right up here. If I can get it in screen. There we go. And then I have some NYX. So I have a couple different types of single shadows. I usually just depot the singles I get in bags and stuff and put them in here. So I do have that one. Alright, working on the rest of that top drawer. I've got 2 baskets. Alright, I have 2 little baskets. I have one little one, with 5 little palettes. And then I have this kind of bigger one. Now this white basket came in a set of 2 or 3 from Walmart, if you're curious. This little blue one came in a pack of 3 from the dollar store. So they were both like $1 for a pack of them. So pretty good deals. I don't like to spend much on the storage. No, I have Alex drawers, which are expensive, but I mean like the little units. So we're going to start with the little one first. So I have 2 things that I actually picked up recently, and I'll have this video linked up above so you can see swatches. I have 2 of the Smashbox Drawn In Decked Out palettes. Now these are the Cover Shop palettes. This is the palette Ablaze. This is Ablaze. Super gorgeous, kind of like Urban Decay heat tones. Really, really pretty. Let's see if I can bring it in a little bit. Sorry if I was blinding you that whole time. There we go. So I have that one, which I love. And then I have the other one that came in that set, which is the Sultry Eye, which is more of a neutral, and it does have that kind of pretty purple on the side too. That purple over here. Sorry, pointed to the wrong side. So super gorgeous shades, but yeah, I have those 2. Even though they're small, I do still really like them. I usually reach for bigger palettes, which kind of sucks because I do have a couple small ones that I just don't reach for. Alright, next I have 3 of these Marc Jacobs Style Con number 3 palettes. Is that what you're called? Style Icon number 3. So I have 3 different one of those, and I'm going to go ahead and take them all out of their little baggies that they come in. So let's see. I've got 3 different ones. I'll go ahead and show you all of them. So I have 120, which is the Escapist. So it's got a kind of pinky opal shade, a more brown kind of like good transition shade, and then a purpley shade. So there's that. Super gorgeous. I think these are like $40 or $50, and I got these for $3 or $4 at what is it called? TJ Maxx. So I have a whole video planned out I need to film about TJ Maxx. But I highly recommend you shop at TJ Maxx if you have one near you. So this one's called the Supreme 118. And it's kind of like a brownish taupey gray collection. Sorry if you're about to hear the dogs bark. There's a car that just pulled up outside. So please ignore that if you can hear them in a second. And then this one is called 112 The Mod. And so this one has a good black shade, really good crease shade, and then like a matte highlight shade. So super pretty too. All of these I got for under $3 or $4, I think I said. So really, really, really good deals, especially for Marc Jacobs. So there's that. Alright, we're going to put that little basket back so I don't lose it. Alright, and then we are moving to this bigger one, like I said. So starting in the back, I have my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I bought this when it came out, and then it went on sale like a month later. I was a little annoyed, but whatever. I have it. I really wanted it, so can't cover this mirror, but you have a bunch of different kind of like neutral shades, and then you have that pop of gold, that pop of blue, and then there's like a pink too. So really pretty palette, gorgeous shades. I love to use this. The sparkles are great, the mattes are great, so definitely a great, awesome collab. Sorry if the ring light's projecting funny. So I do have that. I do use it a lot. It just didn't fit in the drawers, the bottom drawer. I recently got this in a BoxyCharm. This is the Pure Soiree Diaries. I just did a BoxyCharm unboxing for September, and this was in it. So if you want to see swatches of this, I think I did swatches. I did some swatches. So if you want to see that more in depth, you can go to that September BoxyCharm unboxing. I have the Ulta and Jenny Fox Miss Fabulous palette. So there's that one. I bought this. There was a deal at Ulta, and if you spent like $25 on Ulta products, you got that like a free bag of stuff. So I bought this. It was like $10. It's really gorgeous. I probably should reach for it more. I just don't. It's got some really, really pretty shades though. Alright. Next I have the Smashbox Double Exposure palette, and I'm going to just take the little brush out. So that is. I have honestly only ever used this like twice. I bought this because it was on sale, and it looked really pretty. It is gorgeous, but I don't reach for it. I'm going to try to make videos. I'm going to do like a palette collection series, and I'm going to try to use every palette in my collection for like 7 days and like mash the looks together, maybe? I don't know. I want to find a way to use all my palettes. So the next is the Too Faced Rock and Roll palette. I've never used this. I actually got this as a Christmas present from my cousin. So there is that one. Super pretty colors. I just haven't used it yet. Alright, I have the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette, which I did use this one a lot when I first got it, though I haven't used it in a hot minute. So it's got a really pretty blue in there. Love that blue. So that is really, really gorgeous. I used to do a look called the Cotton Candy look, and I used that palette for that. Next is my Too Faced Natural Matte. I used to use this one a ton. This was one of my like matte palettes that I had for a while, and so I absolutely love this. There's some good dents in these. You can make some gorgeous like neutral natural looks with that. And then I also have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. This just came in the BoxyCharm for August. And so I've only used this once or twice. I probably should use it more because it is stunning. Look at that. Hopefully I'm not blinding you. But that is a really gorgeousness. So that is the top drawer. We're going to go ahead and just put that back. Oh, we're going to go to the bottom drawer. So let's see how I want to do this. Alright, so in the back of the bottom drawer, let's see if I can get this out without breaking anything. There we go. This is from Tarte 2016. So I think that palette from earlier was Tarte 2015. This is the Tarte 2016. This was a magnetic palette that they brought out. It has a set of brushes in it and then a magnetic tray. So I got this. The brushes are really awesome. The only thing I hate about them is that they are double-sided, and so I don't like storing double-sided brushes with all my others because I do keep my brushes in little cups and containers, and I feel like it'll ruin one side. So I do keep them in this, which makes me unfortunately not reach for them much, so I do need to find a place to keep them. This is a great little palette to have though, because I do have bronzers, highlights, blushes and stuff that if I needed to travel with them, I could just throw them in this, and I know they'd be safe and protected with brushes. So that's really cool. So I do have that in the back of the bottom drawer because it's hard to get to and I don't reach for it that much. Alright, and then working on that little black tray on the side, which I'm not going to pull out because it's really big, but I have the Bon Voyage palette, which I talked about just a little bit ago with that single shadow. So I bought this. It's got a cute little mirror, but I bought this at Nordstrom Rack. There are the, I'm going to turn it sideways, there are the shades. So down here are lip and blush, cream lip blush products. Then you've got 2 cheeks, and then you've got a highlight, a bronzer, and then 9 shadows. So these are actually really, really pretty. Gorgeous shades. But there's that shade that I have in the single. It's much bigger here, so why would I reach for the smaller one? This is really, really pretty. I've actually never used these, which I probably should. I haven't reached for this much, but I like having it. Probably because I'm a hoarder. Alright, next is the Carly Bible palette by BH Cosmetics. And this has 10 eyeshadows and then 4 highlights. So there's this one. I used this a lot when I first got it, but I haven't really used it since. So really pretty though. I should probably use it more. I wanted to pick up the new one when it had come out. I just never did. Maybe if it's still available, I'll go get it, but you never know. This is probably like this is the first limited edition palette I ever bought, and I absolutely loved it. It's gorgeous, super pigmented, and I haven't used it much because I'm scared to go through it. I probably should just get over that before it expires and use it. But this is the Too Faced Stardust palette by Vegas Nay. Like I said, first limited edition collection I bought. But here are the shades. Aren't those stunning? My gosh, they're so pretty. They're super pigmented, super pretty. I did not pick up the Nikki Tutorials collection that was like this size. This also came with a loose glitter, which I have no clue where it's gone. It's somewhere. But that is absolutely gorgeous. Next is the Balm Appetit, which is super cute. Once again, I picked this up at Nordstrom Rack for like $10. So you open it up, and of course there's a mirror. But like it says eat your heart out, which is so stinking cute. And I was like, oh, how are you going to use the shadows? But this actually flips down. I didn't know that when I first picked it up. I bought it before figuring that out. I was like, I guess I'll have to just work around it. But these are some super gorgeous shade. The names are hilarious too. Like we have Crispy Bacon. Crispy Bacon. We have Artichoke Dip. Artichoke Dip. We have Rocky Road Ice Cream. We have Mac and Cheese. These are all supposed to be names. Bruschetta instead of bruschetta. It's super cute. But they are actually super pigmented, super pretty too. So I do really like this. I want to do a tutorial with this maybe. Alright. Next is the NYX Happy Birthday palette for 2017. I just picked this up obviously in August when my birthday was. I have not used this more than swatches yet though. And I really, really want to. So I just need to sit down and use it instead of trying to use something else. But super gorgeous colors. Great for the fall time coming up. So I'm super excited. It's got some gorgeous warm tones. That green is beautiful. So I do have that. And then the last one in that little awkward facing section is the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette. Now I have this. I bought this the day it came out. It is super gorgeous. The pigmentation is, it's okay. It's not the best. But it is really pretty and it's nice to have some matte shades. I could definitely throw this in my purse or like in a travel bag and be able to make a couple different looks and like throw in like one of those single shadows or like, you know, something like that. Throw in that balm one, that little like simple glitter one. I'm a genius. I'm gonna do that next time I travel. I probably won't. Alright, and then I have my two Urban Decay Naked palettes. Now, I may get a lot of hate for this, but I am not the biggest Urban Decay Naked fan. I have two of them. One is pretty good. One is meh. So, the first one I picked up, I got on my 16th birthday? 17th birthday? I think 16th birthday. Something like that. Maybe it was 18th. I don't even know. I bought it like a couple years ago. But this is the Urban Decay Naked 3. Now, I bought this because I was like, oh, I'm really fair. These kind of rosy tones will look really good. And they do. But they are not pigmented. The foil shadows or the glitter shadows are just not pigmented. I don't see what the hype is. So, sorry if this is your favorite palette. It just doesn't work for me. If you guys have any tips on how to use this palette, please let me know because I've only ever used it like 10 times. And everybody loves these. So, I know some people have told me that the Naked 3 is the worst of them all in pigmentation and such. And I could believe that because I also have the Naked Smoky. When I was working at Ulta, I bought this. It was on sale for $27 and then I got my discount on top of it. So I got it for like $20. So I do have this one. Drop out the brush. I do keep them. I keep the brushes in the palettes because they're double-ended. I don't like double-ended brushes. So, but I have used this one. I actually have an everyday smoky eye tutorial up on my channel. I have a couple different ones that I've used this in. This is probably my favorite of the two that I have. But this one's really pretty. It's just I don't do smoky eyes too often. So there's only so many times I can use this. You guys know what I mean? But this is definitely my favorite out of the two. I probably will pick up the Naked 1 and Naked 2, and I really want the Naked Heat, so I'll probably pick them all up eventually and have them all, but like, this one is just not my favorite. So, I do like to keep them together though, because they're like a little family. They're missing 3 members, but they're a little family, so I do keep those together. Next I have my little Too Faced stack, and I keep these all in a basket together. And so I have 3 Too Faced palettes that are the same size. I have the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I do not have the original. This was the first high-end palette I ever bought. I'd had a couple different like little single eyeshadows when I was little, but when I actually got into makeup, this was the first eyeshadow palette I bought. So this has so many special places in my heart, and I still really love it to this day. This is definitely still one of my favorite, like, holy grail palettes. I picked up the semi-sweet, and so did my mom, and then we bought my sister the regular chocolate bar, which she absolutely loves. So, I do want to get the regular chocolate bar eventually, but I do have the semi-sweet. You guys can see that, like, in some of these shades down here, I have some good dents in them. So I'm slowly working my way through it, but this has been in my collection for a long time. So I think I'm going to try to do a Project Pan series too, and do like updates periodically. So maybe this will be my first project pan, like one of my first palettes to try to pan. And then I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, which is super cute packaging. I think that's Too Faced thing, is that it has cute packaging that makes you buy it. But here is this one. Now this one is really, really good too. I'm actually turning it the right side up so you can actually see the little hearts. But I do have this one. Super pretty shades. I think I've used this blue down here like twice. I haven't used a couple shades a few times, but like I use this a good bit. There's really not any visible dents. I have had this one since it came out though. The smell of these is just so amazing. And then of course I have the Sweet Peach palette. No, I think everybody at this point has this palette. This is nothing special. I did get it during an exclusive launch before it had launched to the public. So I do have this, but I absolutely love it. Now, like the last few times I've gone to Disney or gone on vacation, I brought this palette. This was like the palette I brought. I brought Modern Renaissance one time, but like this is my go-to palette because I can create very natural shades with this. I can create kind of fun shades, fun looks. I can use like this green called Bless Her Heart. There's a couple fun shades in here that I can use to make a very basic eye very fun. So I do love, love, love these. So hoping to pick up the regular chocolate bar soon, but for now I have those three. Now in that little basket as well, they're in I'll go ahead and show you. They're in this little basket right here. These came in a set of 3 for like $1 at Walmart. And that big black thing, if you guys want to go back to the little video I showed you at the beginning, how I store it, that black thing on the side where all those palettes are in, that is a like cooking, like drying rack for plates. It came with a like mat that you can put wet dishes on so they can air dry. It's for drying dishes, but I use it to store palettes. So that was only like $4, I think. And I gave the drying mat to my mom. She put it in the kitchen. But anyways, in this little, so that's where that's from. It's usually Walmart or Dollar Store because that's the cheapest where I get my stuff. But also, like I said, in this little container, I have this. Now, this is my Stila Stay All Day. That's how Stila works. Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. Now, this is like my favorite thing right now. This is definitely going to be my favorite. It's a little spoiler. If it wasn't in my favorites already, it's going to be. I am wearing it on my eyes today. I think it is stunning. I absolutely love this. This one's in the shade Bronzed Belle. I want to collect them all. I absolutely love them. So I didn't want to put them in the basket of singles, like on the bottom drawer. So I do put them right there with my Too Faced ones. It just kind of sits on the side. But that way I know where it is. It's reachable. Alright. I do have a couple palettes left, but in the front of the drawer I keep this, which is my little color switch. I do have a video up on this. I'll have that linked in the cards as well. I do have a video all about this. I think it is totally worth it. I'm not going to talk too much about it. This is the Ulta Beauty New Hue Shadow Switching Pan. It's a mouthful. If you've heard of the Vera Mona color switch, it is very similar to that. Looks like this. So that sits in the front of this drawer as well. Alright, and then I have all my Anastasia palettes together, and then I also have my one Kat Von D palette. So we're going to go ahead and start with my oldest Anastasia palette. This is the Anastasia Shadow Couture World Traveler palette. Once again, double-sided brushes. I hate it because I don't ever reach for them unless I'm using that palette. So here is this one. This one has some gorgeous shades. You can see that like I've only swatched this one once. You can actually like visibly see the swatch. The shade Noir. I used this one a good bit when I first got it, but I haven't used it much since, so I really need to try to use it. Super gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Alright. Next I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Self-Made palette. Now when I first saw this one, I really wanted it too. Once again, popping out the brush. Alright. And it's, I love this one. It says, this limited edition, fashion forward. I love it. Anyways, here is this one. I honestly bought it because of this blue shade right here. That's the only reason I bought it. And guess how many times I've used that shade? Like, once. but absolutely stunning palette. Really gorgeous. So I don't regret buying it. I have used this a ton. I need to use it more, but I do have that. I don't want to blind you guys, but like most of my palettes still have the little seal on the mirrors, which is so funny. I just don't peel them because when I travel, I still take a mirror with me. So I don't ever use the mirrors in the palettes. So the next one I have, my third oldest Anastasia palette, is my Modern Renaissance. Now this one is the one that I have used the most. That's when I have actually peeled the sticker off. I know, it's magical. Alright, so there is this one. As you guys can see, there is some wear and tear on this one. I have started to get some dents in some of these, but super pretty. I love this. I'm actually wearing this on my eyes today too, like the regular shadow in my crease and under eye area. That is from the Modern Renaissance. So absolutely stunning palette. Absolutely highly recommend. Love this one. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I have my much debated Subculture palette. Hold it the right way up. Subculture palette. Now, I don't know about you guys, if you watched my video, once again, link in the cards, but if you watched my Subculture review, you saw that my palette is not falling apart. It is powdery, don't get me wrong, but it is not nearly as crazy bad as people have made it out to be. I think there was just a little too much drama surrounding this palette, but you guys can see here, I have used this a ton, and you guys can see that there's no dents. I have not hit pan. People are creating drama, or maybe they did have bad ones. If you haven't seen that video, mine is from the P7 F24 batch. I've heard anything after that is a good batch. So I absolutely love mine. I would highly recommend this to anyone that loves these kind of like cool tones, kind of edgy shades. It's beautiful. I love it. So definitely check out that video if you want to see swatches, if you want to see that like 3-tap test. I know, I think Beauty News did like tap tests to see excuse me, did that tap test to see how powdery they were and then like swirl to hit pan. Obviously when you're putting on eyeshadow, you don't sit and swirl like this, so why would that be a good comparison? I literally did the 3-tap test, which is usually how much I tap in a shadow. Like I'm like tap, 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 tap off, and then I blend it. So that video was a little, like I watched it, but I think it was a little biased. I think they were trying to hit pan. They were trying to hit pan. I don't sit and swirl my brush. Anyways, this is a great palette. So if you want it, go to the store. Make sure you get a batch that's F24 or later, which I think pretty much all of them are now. So highly recommend this. Okay? Beautiful. Last palette. Oh, last palette. This is my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. Now this was a fan favorite for a hot minute. I absolutely loved this when I first got it. I traveled with this. I did everything with this palette. I actually used this shade down here, the big one called Lazarus. I used that as a contour when I traveled. Pretty good stuff. It's a gorgeous palette. It's a little chalky, nothing crazy. It's so pigmented and so beautiful though that it's worth it. I do want to pick up the Shade and Light Glimmer, like the shimmer version of this. I just haven't because I'm poor. But that is my eyeshadow collection. I'd like to think I have a decent sized collection. I don't have a ton of palettes, but I do have a good amount. Let me know what your favorite palettes are down below. I'd love to hear what your all-time favorite palette is. If I had to pick an all-time favorite, of course, like I said, it is my Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. But if I had to pick a like more recent favorite, I think it would either be the Jaclyn Hill or the Modern Renaissance. I'd probably go Jaclyn Hill because I can create super neutral looks with this. I can throw on some very neutral shadows and I can just go out of the house easy. This one, there's only a few super neutral shades, so you have to do a look with this. So if I had to pick a new favorite, I think I'd pick Jaclyn Hill. My love. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this makeup stash. I'm going to be trying to do more makeup stashes as time goes on, but I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!